What's up, everyone? This is Evan. Today we're going to jump in and talk about nodes. The three nodes that everyone's talking about that I'm personally invested in: Strong versus Thor versus Power nodes. We're going to do a little comparison. We're going to see how the price action's going, and maybe in the end we'll see some potential best plays to do with these tokens. What's up, everyone? My name is Evan. I'm with Crypto Cash Camp. This is where we talk about passive income in the crypto space, whether that's farming, staking, plug and play opportunities like Helium. We get into it all. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, please hit that like button. And if you want to know much more about this topic and dig super deep into DeFi, check the link in the description for the course. We're offering a heavy discount for the first people jumping on board. We're just getting it all ramped up right now. Okay, with that being said, let's jump into this project right now. So this is just a little mind map I created with Strong versus Thor versus Power nodes. A lot of people think they're one and the same, but Strong is the initial Thor node creator of the three, and then these all followed suit. Remember, Strong has an actual business use case. It is to create a node as a service. And as you may know, a node is a relatively difficult thing to create. So whether it's Avalanche or Polygon or any chain needs nodes to operate a decentralized network. And nodes are complicated to set up. They can be expensive and annoying to run. But what StrongBlock does is they allow you to stake 10 of your Strong tokens. Now, current price sits at a measly $313, and as a result, you can get back a whopping 0.1 Strong per day, so about 100 and few day ROI. So that is the use case of Strong, but that's the ROI if the price stays the same. And let's just show you that the price has not stayed the same. It has gone up and down with hype. It's usually been at a floor price of about 400, and now it has dropped to a floor price of about 300. So no, things are changing, whether it's the market dropping, but if the big guy drops, which is Strong, it tends to bring down the other two. And the other two most popular ones, maybe Power's not the most popular, but Thor is huge. And pretty much what it is an investment plan. You invest in the protocol, and they, in turn, have more or less a treasury, which we can see right here. Click on treasury, and they invest in different protocols, and they make profits or they don't make profits, like they've been investing in some of the Ohm forks, and you get paid out by that, and people get a vote on the treasury. So you can see the transaction hashes. There's real money going into real places, and for some reason this is not loading. So we'll just come back to that a little later. And the third one from this list is the lovely Power nodes. And why we're talking about Power nodes is because they were another docs team. So the interesting thing about all three of these is they are docs teams. People are transparent. You know who's actually working on the project. So yeah, Power nodes, you can actually see they also have a treasury. And this is what their portfolio looks like. They have about 800,000 invested, but they don't really have a built out portfolio, which is, same with Thor. They don't really go too deep into the portfolio. They just show that money's invested. They do show the transaction hashes to show that there actually has been an investment that has taken place. And yes, this also isn't loading very quick too. And yeah, $2.5 million liquidity is pretty good. Not huge, but pretty good start. I do want to let you know that for those of you just coming into nodes, there are a ton of new node projects coming up. They are highly risky. This is not your retirement account. People are talking this, how you make $100,000. Maybe you could, but price has not stayed the same. And I don't, it's not necessarily that these won't last, for the next 18 to 24 months, but they need an actual use case and they need actual reoccurring revenue to come in. So there's not so much selling pressure to make people just keep dumping these tokens. And so far, all of these have downgraded from whatever huge payout they're doing from like half a token per day down to 0.1, like 1/10 of one token. So you're not making your ROI in a couple days or 3 days or 4 days. It's taking a little bit longer, it's taking roughly to get your node back on Strong about 108 days. And pretty much the other ones, for example, with Thor, let's go into the Thor project. You're actually going to need 12.5 to get a Thor node. So you see right here, this is in Thor. You need 12.5 Thor, currently at the price of $44. We can do that quick math for you. So 44 times 12.5 I don't know why the 44 didn't show up. You're looking at $550 investment to make your money back in, let's do that math too. To make your money back in about 90 days, seeing the price stays the same. So let's go over back to back, starting with strong, going to the next reputable Thor, and then on to the little power node and seeing what's going on. And then at the end, I'll show you what my portfolio is and what I'm doing right about now. So yeah, this is never fun. Everything's dropping, especially in the last month. It's gone to its, you thought the floor was 440. I think I bought a few like here, and then it started to drop. And this is not a fun place to be when you're compounding. But do know that if you're in it for the long haul, these can potentially have lulls. Goes down, goes up, goes down, goes up. And the market at a whole is going down. So, it's like, what are people most willing to dump first? NFTs and, more degen projects. So these sometimes tend to go down. Is this a Ponzi? Well, most of them actually rely on, when you put money in, it gets paid back to the node pool. So what happens is every time you buy strong, you throw the 10 in. All of these, you lock your tokens, gone forever. And as a result, your tokens that you've locked up have then the utility to pay out other people who are jumping in, which helps keep the price up. But know that when a network has, we're going to go onto Strong's Twitter, has what, 300,000, there's a huge 333, there's a huge amount of selling pressure that accumulates, especially when people get scared, like, oh, I don't want to lose all my investment, let's just get out. So we know that, this is dropping a little bit. If you look at the 1 month, it doesn't look good. The 1 month of Thor doesn't look good either, kind of dropping a little bit less, but it continues to drop. And then Power also is dropping and then is finding a floor at $12. None of these have really looked like they've found a floor quite yet, but they could go to the next level. You never know. But no, they are kind of Ponzi-nomics, but there are some revenues coming from them. Strong has a huge following of 51,000, but Thor is catching up, and it's a much smaller project, 41,000. It's on AVAX, so there's no gas fees like Strong. And then you go to Power, it's on Phantom, so may even have like also very cheap gas fees, very small following, more or less. But these guys are doxed. I've listened to some AMAs. They're doing some interesting things, but they're all mimicking the same model of Thor. Taking money, buying assets, using that money that's reoccurring, creating revenue to pay out people. But it's hard to find investments that pay out the same amount that they're paying out. So there is always a little bit of inflation consistently going on until people are constantly buying back in. So these projects could either find a floor price of something reasonable, or it could go pretty darn low. But just know that these things may not be around to last forever. And this is not financial advice, but if you're doing these, I would not advise aping into these. This is like a sliver of the portfolio that if things go to zero, you're not stressing out. And let's go look into my Strong account right now. All right, so I have about 4.5, halfway there to compounding for another. I've got one going right now, which is great. So I could cash that out and make not a ton, make about 1,000. I think my in price for this one was at about the $600 mark. So I am, my ROI would be like 200 days at current prices. So yeah, I've just been farming. I was thinking about compounding, but yeah, I just haven't made that decision yet. So we'll see what happens there. Going on to Thor nodes, this is the one I actually got 2 nodes in. I did compound this one. So yeah, you see I now have two nodes, so I'm getting quite a bit more Thor per day. I did dump a little bit more into Thor recently just to get these extra nodes. So if I claim, there's an 8% claim tax. So know that, you think you see these numbers, you're going to get that. You're probably not even going to get 4 when you claim these, just to keep that in mind. So, it's always interesting to claim and sell. Claim and sell if you want a dollar cost average in, dollar cost average out. And if you're just in it for the long haul, you want to keep compounding, that could be your thing. You can go for it. But let's go for the Power, because Power was one of the first to drop the rewards from some crazy amount like 0.33 per day to 0.1 with a 10 node contract. So let's connect right here. So here I've accumulated a whopping 4.9, and I'll be honest, I haven't been the best at keeping track of this because I could have sold it, 2 of them at 30. But I'm just kind of letting these ride, and this is a pretty floor price right here. you're looking at 16 bucks. This is down at 15. I'm not, what do I want to make, 50 bucks, or do I want to try to like let that double by just holding on to that a little bit longer? Yes, this could all go to zero, but I'm in like 600 bucks on this one. So here's what I'm thinking is that, it's always fun to buy more nodes as the price is going up, and it's scary to buy more nodes as the price is going down, even though it's the best time to do it. So which project do you have the most faith in? Well, I would love to get my money back and then to consider compounding at that point. So some of these I'm like negative 3,500 is strong, 1,200 with Thor, and 490 here. So I'm in the game of recouping my initial investment and then compounding at that point. It's like the risk-off way of dealing with these degen projects. And yes, this is more or less a degenerate project because you buy a token, you give it to them forever, and you get a payout hoping that the price stays the same. It's a gamble. It's a big gamble. And none of these are producing massive amounts of profit. So it's, in my eyes, it is one of that sliver of the portfolio, 5-10%, goes into these high-risk plays. They are fun, they're exciting, they're easy to ape into because everyone's talking about them. But also, I would advise looking into it a little bit more before you ape in too much. So, do you want to know when to buy? Here's an interesting way to check this out. All right, so this is TradingView. I have a few different markers going. Look, I'm not a TA guy, technical analysis guy, but this is really interesting to look at because, frankly, you're just looking at it. You're based on impulses and emotions. But here's the EMA 820. This is the RSI 14. This is the MACD 1226. I do not know what these all mean. This is overbought, oversold. So you see at a point maybe over here, what was that, 300? It looks oversold. Granted, this isn't the best chart to look at. Sometimes if you get a couple markers where a couple of these cross, I've seen no crosses up here. We have seen a cross right here and right here. So at about 300, it looked like a buy, potentially. I mean, look, this is not financial advice. Check it on your own. But this is just an interesting thing to look at to give yourself a few more data points and confidence that you're not just doing an impulse jump in to find a good floor price to get in if that's your thing. So we'll see which ones are actually listed here. Thor and Wrapped AVAX. I would love it against this stablecoin Thor. I think that's the only trading pair we have. So let's go to Thor, Wrapped AVAX, because AVAX is moving too. Oh yeah, that's not looking like a buy. Maybe something's crossing right here, but looks like things are kind of, oh wait, this is a weird, sorry, this is the right token mix, but yeah, so that looks like a buy right there, or a sell, and it just kept going. There was a sell point up here at the top. If you're watching that, probably a great time to get out, and then watch it ride down. There's maybe a buyback point here, and then another point down here. So just look at the charts, TradingView, remember it's EMA 1020, RSI 14, MACD 1226. And if you want a video on how to set up TradingView, I'm not your TA guy, but I could show you if you're interested. So write something in the comments. Also, remember to like the video. So this is what we're doing. We're getting into DeFi, crypto, farming, and staking, high-risk projects like this. But yeah, if you're into this, check the link in the description for jumping in the course. If you're interested in getting deeper into DeFi, learn about wallets, bridges, all sorts of the things to get deep into it. Start there. And let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I will see you guys on the next video.